Thank you for watching. It's Glenn Parker, High Vibration Foundation. There is an idea I wanted to share, and it's one that scared me at first and the one that's exciting at the same time. There's the idea of the splitting prism from 2020, that you're going to have a 3D reality where people are going to stay in third density and they're going to go off and do their own thing because that's what they need for their individual matrix. Maybe they're not old souls. Or maybe that wasn't their fun, or maybe they're here for contrast for us for any number of reasons. And then there's going to be a 4D reality, which is what we're going into now, and that you're going to be a lot less physical, a lot less physicalized, that you're not going to use the past as a point of reference, that you're going to understand that everything is multidimensional, including yourself, and you're going to reintegrate as a full holistic being and meet the people that are coming for first contact, YahYel being the first of those. And in doing so, there's going to be a splitting prism where, like a train leaving a train station and multiple trains, like two trains, and each of these trains a parallel reality, and as they're closer and closer together, it's easier to go from one track to the other. But as they diverge off, you're going to find it more difficult, or yet impossible at a point in time, to jump from one track to the other. And by following your highest excitement, which seems so simple, but you know, our minds have been trained over and over again. It seems so simple that following your highest excitement will reintegrate you and get you everything that you want, because excitement is the idea in the space and time of the vibration of your true natural self. And by doing that, you reintegrate yourself as a true holistic being. You make it easier to have first contact, because if you're not integrating as a full holistic being, then if you were to have first contact and come into contact with a being that is fully holistically integrated and operating on a multidimensional level, it would force you to integrate like a tuning fork overtaking another tuning fork, but this tuning fork would pop out of its existence very likely and have psychotic shock and no longer be in the matrix and go back to non-physical. Oops. So this idea of the splitting prism and integrating yourself as a holistic being is between 2012 and 2020, and each year the pace is harder and harder to go from train station to train station, or from train to train, because the distance, the gap in the parallel realities is bigger and bigger. Now, I just heard something from Epsilon, which is a trinary entity that is the collective oversoul of the Sassani homeworld. I just saw this, and it didn't explicitly say that it was 2016 fall, but what was spoken was that everything is going to change, that you only have 2.5 years to integrate into your highest excitement. And I'm sure I missed a lot of that video because it came across on YouTube or something, and I need to go on Bashar's website and find out which one that is and grab it, so I can see the whole thing, because I know people were going to be asking him questions saying, what's going on? Is it not 2020 anymore? And I'm not quite sure at this point in time. And it doesn't really matter when it is, because the idea is to go ahead and reintegrate as a full holistic being. And I know some of us have problems with it. I've had problems with this. And, the ego, you need to do ego negotiation. But let's just take the supposition that it is 2016, the fall of 2016, and you're shaving off, nearly 4 years, right? Or 3 years at least, because 2020 is the split. And how exciting that is, and then, ooh, how daunting. It's like, whoa, that means the divergence has gone even broader at this point in time, that you have to follow your highest excitement if you're going to follow the collective consciousness that's going to the idea of first contact. And if you're afraid of that, then you're not going to go to first contact, because that vibration of fear is not the knowledge, is not the understanding that you are immortal, that you are forever, that there is nothing to be afraid of. Because even if that is the experience you wanted to have in the template reality, that was your choice, and that's what you want to experience. And only being okay with that gives you the opportunity to change it and have the possibility to go into the light and remove fear. And I think that's a fascinating paradox that we've set up for ourselves. So it is the idea of being more playful. It is the idea of testing this out. And these other tools that I spoke of earlier in another video, the previous video, which was the ones that I liked, the transformative shifting exercises by Bashar, or exercise, and it has an endogrammatic circuit at the end, one of many that will be revealed, but that one is to help solidify the exercise. And the holotrope experience, really nice lucid dream states with that, and some unconditional love has come through during that exercise. The sacred circuitry, the first 15, and the DNA activation, the one I found that was behind the Queen's chamber, up and then way up into the pyramid, and behind this door that has metal hinges on it in the Great Pyramid of Giza. They weren't making metal back, well, obviously they were making metal, but they weren't making metal to anyone's knowledge at that point in time. And then there's a fractal image on the back of that, which is also a star chart, which has stars on it that don't exist in our reality yet. For instance, the YahYel and a few other civilizations, well, many other civilizations are outside of our vibrational ability at this point in time. We're going into that vibrational ability very shortly. In the next 20 years, or the next 10 years, or maybe the next few years, you know, from what I'm hearing. That exercise is wicked DNA activation. Just, you know, gazing at that image, the image has a mind of its own. It actually seems to have other images. There's images in there that weren't in there that I could perceive originally that are now there. So almost like there's beings joining in on that image as it's relevant. So that one is wickedly good, and I've had tons of feedback on that, like, whoa, what is that? It's like, because I feel something, there's something stirring that I can't put words to. That's very exciting. Some people are afraid of it, and, you know, so it's all over the board. But if you go to the foundation, which is down below, you'll find it. It's free download. Just grab it, and if you can throw it up on a flat screen and sit and gaze on it, put it on a flash memory card, or plug in HDMI from your laptop or desktop or what have you. Or if you can project from your laptop or desktop on any number of these little things that you can plug into your HDMI and send the signal over, do so. Because the bigger the image, scale doesn't make a difference. Sometimes when it's smaller for some people, sometimes when it's bigger for other people. Play around with it, whatever feels the best. So this idea that the splitting prism may be splitting faster is really interesting and really fascinating, and I'll get some clarity on that, and I'll do another video. My goal is I'm in Las Vegas, and I'm going to go out to LA and have a private session with Bashar, because I have many questions, that being one, and I think being within his energy would be good as well, because I know in days past, years ago in the videos, he was saying that he was only giving 1% of his energy, overall energy as a being, or else poof, you know, would be too much. That was quite some years ago, well, not too many years ago from my recollection. And I'm kind of curious now what it would be representative of in the way of how much energy he's coming through. It's probably proportionate, because they are now a higher density entity than they were originally when those videos were done, so it probably is still pretty proportionate, because they are going up and we're going up. So it's probably, you know, in proportion to both civilizations. But we'll see. I'm going to ask. I think that's pretty much it, and I just wanted to share that because I was like, well, really? And this entity, collective oversoul 103, trinary entity, what they are physically is fascinating. It's like a moon rotating around their, or in a fixed orbit around their planet. And it's huge, and the way it's designed and what's going on is just fascinating. Just so much gets unveiled. I mean, you think that you know quite a bit, and then you keep hearing more. You're like, and Bashar always says, "There's always more. There's always more. There's always more. There's always more." You know, all that is infinite. So of course, there's always more. So I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, you know, post any comments, all that good stuff. Coaching, life coaching, business coaching is always available. I offer free sessions if you have any questions. Talking about this type of material, obviously, it's always on the menu for spiritual coaching as well. That's part of life coaching. If you have any questions, please feel free to send them. You can email them, or you can hop on the website and send messages, or you can do it via YouTube as well. Thank you very much for watching. Love and light, and have a fantastic day.